First of all, I want to thank all of you who did say something. It was so nice, and it means a lot to me. I didn't know Charlie when he was young, and in Maryland and at the Group W Broadcasting. A lot of you have seen some wonderful articles in the paper, and a lot of you WB people know the history of Charlie, what he did when he was there. You know that he designed and built the Washington Bureau, the London Bureau, and the Paris Bureau. He was an engineer. But his love really was giving you the news, letting you know what was going on, and he was very professional in it. He idolized Edward R. Murrow. And everything he did, he would say, what would Edward R. Murrow, how would he have done this? And he continued to do things that way. I met him when I went to work for KFWB in 1970. Before that time, I had been in radio for 10 years, and so I was hired there because I had enough experience to come in and do what needed to be done. He left and went to the sister station, Channel 5 in San Francisco, and that's when we got together in this way. We were married April 13th, 1974, so I've had 33 wonderful years with Charlie. Bruce, that's got to drive you crazy to know that it was 33 years ago that you stood there and took the pictures. Bruce was at our wedding. We went to Hawaii for our honeymoon because I had worked in Hawaii. I had worked for KORL in Hawaii for 2 years. And so my mother sent us to Hawaii for our honeymoon. Nice trip there. And we found that we traveled well together. So a little bit, couple months after we were married, Charlie is a great classical music lover. And my major in college was classical music. Actually, nobody would know that here and know it now, but I studied opera and oratorio, and I have done the soprano solos in the Messiah many times. And so we got along that way too. We liked the same kind of music and everything. So we were at the orchestra at the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion. We used to go to the orchestra performances there, the LA Philharmonic. And one day the PR man for the orchestra came up to Charlie afterwards. His name was Jay Heifetz, and yes, he is the son of Jascha Heifetz, the famous violinist. He came up to us and he said to Charlie, would you like to go to the Hollywood Bowl every Thursday night this summer and then do a review of the concert, and we could have it on KFWB the next morning? He said, sure, we'd love to. So for the entire summer of '74, he and I went every Thursday night, sat in the orchestra's box, and we would listen to the orchestra, and then Charlie would quickly write up a review and feed it on the phone to somebody, and it would be on the air in the morning. Well, the biggest trip we ever had came about because of that. Toward the end of the summer, Jay came to us and he said, we would like you to travel with the LA Philharmonic on their European trip this fall. And Charlie said, well, Carolyn and I have only been married 5 months. I won't go without her. So the station picked up my costs, the orchestra picked up Charlie's, and he and I traveled with the LA Philharmonic and Prince Albert Hall in London. From there we went to Lucerne, Switzerland, Montreux, and Stresa, Italy. We left them in Stresa, Italy. Each time Charlie would listen to the concert as we went. He'd go back to the hotel room, call quickly, and then he would call his review into the London Bureau. They would send it to LA, and it would be on KFWB the next morning. And he would tell things, he would always, as you all know, he would put jokes in, and he would put things about, for example, the pillow fight they had on the plane going over. Professional orchestra people are human beings too, and they had some very, very funny times. Lost their luggage, all kinds of things. That was probably our best trip that we ever, biggest, most important trip, not necessarily the best. Years ago, a friend of ours who used to work at KFWB, his daughter was diagnosed with leukemia. And Charlie was in San Francisco at the time, but he came back to the station. And Bruce, you'll remember what it took us to try to get Charlie involved. But at that time, they were going to do it on the stage at KFI down below. And they needed someone to build, Bruce needed somebody to build a station on that stage. He did it. And from that time on, we were involved in the National Leukemia Radiothon, where we made money strictly for research, leukemia research. There came a time when we had been trying to get KFWB involved, and nobody seemed to be able to get Art Schreiber to come around. And so finally one day we were at a meeting, I guess, Bruce, at ABC, I think. We were having a meeting there, and nobody could figure out how to get them to come. Well, Charlie and I sat there, and we got madder and madder and madder. And I'm going to clean this up a little bit, but Bruce said, the Brailers are, and watch out, we're going to have KFWB. And we did. We went with it, and we went into Art Schreiber, and we said, here's how we're going to do this. We're simply going to take all the features on that one day, and they're all going to be devoted to leukemia. And we got Don Herbert to do the medical part of it, and Charlie and I began to, Shirley Jones was our national chairwoman. Charlie and I went to her house, and we recorded her many things, and we got all kinds of people on the thing. That's how we became involved in that radiothon. It is still running today. I think I'm right, Bruce, am I? It's still running today. It's a national thing. And it's going on stations all over the place. But we managed to get KFWB involved.